All right, 745 in the math book. Hopefully you can see that page number there. That is where we need to be. We're going to do a few models of multiplying when you have mixed numbers and fractions. So, blueberry muffin recipe calls for half a cup of blueberries. Blueberry pie calls for 3.5 times more. So how many cups of blueberries do you need to make the pie? So you need 3.5 times 1/2. Well, there are a couple of ways that I've shown you how to do that, but let's go through here with the questions they ask. So first, shade the squares that represent the product. It's kind of hard to see what they want you to look at here. So here is 1, here is 2, here is 3. Why do they have to show you the fourth one? Well, because they have to have another half. So, how many shade squares are you going to shade? Well, first of all, you've got to shade all 3.5. But then the next step, you need half of those 3.5. So that's where this line right here comes in. It's showing you half of your total amount. So half of the total amount goes all the way over there. But it's interested here when it asks how many squares did you shade. It's just interested in how many of those squares show you half of the 3.5. So it would be these squares that have the double shading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 squares. Out of how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well, that looks a little bit odd, doesn't it? And it doesn't exactly match what I know it should come out to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, that's why. These squares were not part of the original problem, so we would ignore them. They're not part of the 3.5, so I don't need to take half of them. That gets me back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Still not quite sure mathematically that's right, because this one says I have 7/4. Wow, I'm not sure where the fourths came from. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let me go back and find out where the fourths came from. I see it now. If you go back to the whole, how many pieces was it split into? Fourths. So there's one whole item split into 4 pieces. I have 2 of those fourths. Here's another whole item. I have 2 more, so that's 4 fourths. 5, 6, 7 out of 4. So this can get really complicated, can't it? It's showing you now, if you take those 7/4 and rearrange them, you can take 4 fourths out to make one whole, and 3 fourths are left over. So if we just look at the shaded parts, that came out to be 7/4. The mixed number came out to be 1 3/4. Page 746, again, gets kind of complicated. So here it's saying you have 3 3/4. All right, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And so they've taken 3 3/4. They just didn't color in this top part like they should have. Why not? Well, because then you need to take 1 1/2 of that. So this is 1 1/2 of the first one, 1 1/2 of the second one, 1 1/2 of the third one, 1 1/2 of the 3/4. Then you have to figure, okay, in the whole thing, how many pieces did we end up with? Well, See if I can get it right this time. My 3 3/4 was going this way, so I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 little pieces. I want to say it's going to be 16ths. I am not sure. No, it's not. It's going to be 8ths because we counted this as a whole thing. So there were only 8 pieces in that. So 8 times 3 is 24. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. I think there are 45 eighths. Now, let's go to this part. Write each mixed number as an improper fraction. I have 2 halves in a whole thing plus 1 more. That's 5 halves. I have 12 fourths in a whole thing plus 3 more is 15 fourths. So I didn't get this number right, I think. 15 times 5, 5, 2. 1 times 5 is 5 plus 2 is 7. Somehow I should have come up with 75. Oops. No, I shouldn't have. I wrote down the wrong number there. So 3 times 15 is my 45. Oy, oy, oy. 3 times 15 is 45. 45 eighths, top number, divided by bottom number. 8 times 5 is 40. Subtract, get 5 left over. So I am able to make 5 whole items, and I have 5 eighths left over. So the answer here in final form is 5 and 5 eighths. So when it comes to multiplying with mixed numbers, the best thing that it does to show you how complicated it is if you try to use models. So your best choice then is to turn it into mixed numbers. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1 is 21. You take 1 half. 21 times 1 is 21. 5 times 2 is 10. 21 divided into groups of 10 goes 1 whole thing. 2 takes care of 20 pieces. I have 1/10 left over. 1 and 1/10. 1 and 1/10 is the final answer on 746. Now, your only assignment on 747, I don't want you to multiply. All that I want you to do is get the improper fractions written underneath. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, 4/3. Don't need to change that at all, times 2/3. That is all that I want on 747. Change all of your fractions into mixed numbers. That's the assignment today.